Oh, no. I just took my nap. What's up, y'all? Welcome back to the channel. We got like a new little setup here. This is my daughter's room, and no, it is never this clean. I just had to clean it so that y'all did not think I was a slob. But anyway, in this video, I'm going to be sharing 3 surprising things you may come to learn as a single woman working to improve her finances. So you're saving money, you're paying off debt, you're budgeting, doing all the good stuff. There are some things that you may come to be surprised to learn and experience along the way. So I am going to be sharing about those 3 things because I personally experienced all 3. Anyway, let's get into it. All right, so thing number 1 that you may be surprised to realize is that the dating pool turns into a puddle. And what I mean by a puddle is that your options may be more limited than they were previously, and that is because obviously you're proving to yourself that you can manage your own money, you're working to be stable, you're paying off debt, you're doing all of this good stuff, your confidence is increasing, and so you may not be impressed by a person's money anymore. And I believe that when you strip a person of their money, certain things that you may not have cared to recognize before, you kind of would have just accepted, you are no longer willing to accept those things. And those things that may have been small previously, if you were someone who was maybe feeling, you know, a bit financially insecure, you're just wanting some financial assistance, and that's not to mean that you're a gold digger or anything. Some people just, that's important to them in a partner and to have help, or you're just not impressed. So if you were financially insecure, you may be more impressed by a man who has you know, a lot of money. But if you are someone who's working on improving your own finances, those little things that may have seemed little to you in those situations may be very big to you now. And that is because, you know, money may not make you fall out of your chair anymore. It may not make you fly into other things. So you're able to see other parts of this person that you may not necessarily like. So like I said before, you're growing in confidence, you know what you bring to the table, and so you're likely not to put up with the foolery. You're quick to say, you know, I know what I want and I know what I bring to the table, and I know that this is not what I'm willing to accept. So you may be more willing to walk away or just not even entertain certain people that you probably would have before. And that has been my experience as well. Now, I know everyone has their own opinion, especially when it comes to single moms. For some reason, they expect us to just settle because we are single moms. But I feel like when you're a single mom and you got a pretty good handle on your finances and you're proving to yourself when you're hitting your financial goals of what you're capable of doing on your own, you're not going to entertain the mess, like I just said. And it comes to a point when you have to realize, like, you're not just dating for you anymore. You are dating for you and your children, because you and your children are a package deal. This person is going to be a consistent force in your children's life, God willing, you know, if that's your person. And you have to be mindful of that. And so certain things, I don't care that you have a certain amount of money. If I see other things that are not aligning with the man that I want to lead me and my household and my children, like, you gotta go. And I have the ability to do that. That is the best thing about getting your money together as a single woman. Like, you have the ability to walk away or reject something that is not in your best interest. You don't have to accept or settle for certain things because you need help paying your bills, or you're not able to leave this specific relationship. Whenever I was on Instagram, I had a lot of women who would message me for help financially. They wanted to learn how to budget and how to make money and how to save because they were wanting to leave a relationship. And I feel like that is the worst thing ever in the world. That has to be the worst feeling ever, to know that a relationship or a person is not they're not serving you, but you have to stay. Like, you have to settle and stay and be in this mentally miserable place solely because of money, because of finances. And so yeah, I am grateful for my little puddle, and I know that this season of singleness is not easy, especially when you are a woman working to improve your finances, because it does take a lot of people out the game for you. A lot of times we have these fantasies in our mind when it comes to our crush or whatever, and we see other people who are in relationships, and we desire that. I think as humans, we desire raw, pure love, as we should. We want to find our soul's mate. And it may be very upsetting whenever your list just keeps getting smaller and smaller. The more that you accomplish, the more confidence that you gain in yourself, the more self-love that you have. And that was the way it was with me for a long time. I'm like, why is it so dang difficult to find someone worthwhile that matches what I bring to the table and how I view myself? But sister, just pray. I don't want to give you generic advice as, you know, focus on hobbies, you'll never get this time again, because at the end of the day, we are all beings of emotions, and sometimes we just don't want to hear it, you know? Sometimes we're just frustrated and we just don't want to hear it. So all I can say is just pray, take it day by day. Don't forget your word. Don't forget, you know, to keep a list of all the things you've accomplished, just in case you feel like you want to settle for someone just because you're in this state of loneliness. Don't do it, sis, because attaching yourself to the wrong person can literally derail your financial plans, and it could literally destroy everything that you have built, like your foundation, everything. So you have to use discernment and be very careful when you are in these dating streets. But literally, I prayed my desire away. I feel like I'm okay in my season of singleness. I'm good to keep going, and that might be because I'm so focused on my financial goals now. But either way it goes, you know, I feel really good. I feel like I'm in a season of acceptance when it comes to my little puddle and not having a love interest. It took 4 years to get there, so give yourself time and patience and grace. But until then, until that man comes around, until God blesses me with that person, I am going to continue to lean on him, and I'm going to continue to stack my money. Surprising lesson number 2 is that you may start to prefer gradually simplicity over extravagance. And now that is not saying that you do not like a good luxury experience. Like, it is being financially responsible and a good luxury experience, or just looking good and spending money. Those two are not mutually exclusive. But I am just saying that the need to do certain things or look a certain way or have certain things may slowly start to wane as you increase your financial stability and you start hitting major goals. And that is because you don't have that need anymore. Those things are actually a want because you're actually settled within yourself financially. So I will use me as an example for all of these. When I first started my financial journey over 6 years ago, right before I really committed to it, I felt the need to look like I had it. I had to have the new clothes. So I did have a lot of clothes before I got into my super frugal stage with a lot of tags on them. I got a new car. That was my desire when I traded in my clunker, is to look like I had money in my new car, because I was embarrassed when I stopped at the red light in my clunker because I thought that people were looking at me and thought that I wasn't financially stable. And really what it was, I think that I was projecting my insecurities and what I was going through behind closed doors onto the opinions of other people, when I didn't know these people and they were probably not even looking at me. I just thought that they were. And so I had the clothes, I had the car, I had the look when it came to the expensive sew-ins and stuff like that. Which is fine, but I honestly could not afford it. I was putting everything on credit. And so whenever I first moved out of my mom's house, I got my first apartment. And after that, I was intentional about upgrading each apartment until I had to downgrade because I had to take care of 2 kids at that time. And so that was mainly for other people. I needed other people to think I had it together. And as long as other people thought that I was good, whatever BS I had going on behind closed doors when it came to my finances, I was like, I will deal with that in private. I will deal with that when I deal with that. I just need whoever is out here looking at me to think that I have it. And in a way, it was also for myself, because even though I couldn't afford my lifestyle the way that it looked, I didn't ever really think that I could afford that lifestyle. Like, I knew I worked hard. I knew to a certain extent that I deserved it, but I didn't think that I could ever really attain that lifestyle on my own or be able to afford it. So kind of like when we daydream to escape our realities, I was daydreaming through my reality, because my reality was having the car and all of that. But I was living a lie, but it helped me to feel better about myself. The third thing is that you may find it harder to hold your tongue. And here is what I mean. So when you're working towards your financial goals, especially in the beginning, you're literally undergoing a whole entire mindset shift. You are excited, it's new, it's fresh, you got your budget, you got your spreadsheets, you got your color charts. You are working to reduce your expenses so you have more income, all of that good stuff. But when you come back around people who maybe aren't as interested as hitting financial goals, they maybe don't care to budget, they maybe just save the minimum and that's okay. Basically, they have a different mindset. It can be difficult to not force your values and what you are doing on them. And this is something that I 100% did. And as an example, I had a friend who was leasing a car. And basically, I thought it was a dumb decision. I thought it was stupid. And that's because I was working so hard towards paying off my auto loan and all of my debts. I wanted to be, you know, $0 balance all across the board. And I could not fathom why someone would want to lease why they would want to lease a car. And so in so many words, I basically told her that it was a dumb decision and that she should basically be doing what I was doing, trying to pay off the car. I expected her to have the same mindset and outlook when it came to money as me, and I was wrong. What works for me in my life works for me in my life. And to tell someone how they should manage their money, it was absolutely wrong. And in a world where we're not as tolerating of other people's beliefs and values and how, you know, they decide to live their life experience, I am 100% proud of myself for recognizing that and working to correct that about myself. And this is something that you don't purposely do. Like, no one purposely goes into a conversation and tries to tell someone that they're wrong and that they should be doing what they're doing. It's just that so much of your world, whenever you start to take control of your finances, it does revolve around your financial situation, because our life revolves around our money, you know? And if you don't catch it, like, you can quickly become that judgy and off-putting person when it comes to your family and friends, and nobody wants that. And so now I don't offer my advice to anyone unless they specifically ask for that advice. And I just want to be that person that's respectful of everyone's decisions, that's supportive of everyone's decisions, even if I don't necessarily agree with them. All right, y'all, so that wraps up the 3 surprising things you may come to learn as a single woman working to improve her finances. Definitely leave me your experiences down below. Like, did you learn anything else that maybe we need to be looking out for? Have you had any experiences with the things that I talked about in this video? Let's keep the conversation going, and I will catch you guys in the next video.